Fair use, fair use. The clip I'm going to play in this video is for educational purpose only and is in no way, shape, or form monetized.
They passed it. While you were sleeping, while you were watching the game, while you were scrolling through social media and arguing about politics, the legislation that financial privacy advocates have warned about for years was quietly signed into law. The Digital Currency Modernization Act goes into effect this weekend, Saturday at midnight, less than 72 hours from now. And when you wake up Sunday morning, the America you knew will be fundamentally different. The financial freedom you took for granted will be gone. The ability to transact privately, to hold wealth outside the digital surveillance system, to use cash without restriction, will be legally curtailed in ways most people still do not understand. This is not a drill. This is not speculation. This is not some future threat that might materialize someday. This is happening right now.
Alright, so first off, I'd like to say, Kal Alal Yahweh, Bashim Yoshai, Bashim Kako Dash. Double down to the apostles of greatness. Two and two brothers out there pushing and to use somewhat small amount faithful sisters. Yeah, so so that's where we are right now. That's where we are right now in prophecy. Right, we've been talking about digital currency, collapse of the dollar, the financial changeover, and it's at that time now where as we said, day by day things speed up and happen. How would I put this? Things are being clearer and clearer, are more evident as we go on. Right, just 2 weeks ago, that video was uploaded 11 days ago. So just about almost 2 weeks ago, or about 2 weeks ago, America finally did their digital currency bill, right? And they passed it right under your noses. No one noticed it, right? They sneaked it past, as they always do. They give a distraction, some war or some big talk somewhere, and everybody looking at that. And then, it's a sleight of hand, just like, the magicians, a sleight of hand. So while you looking at the left hand, you think that's where the trick is, with that war in Venezuela, what they're talking about, Cuba. And then, bam, with their right hand, they did what they actually wanted to do, was to get that bill out there with no questions asked, right? No backlash from Congress, nothing at all. It was just passed overnight, like legit. Right, but that's how these men do their thing, and that's how you always get caught, and that's how you always get tricked into it, because they always just just lure you in, right, and you just fly past you didn't without you see it coming. That's a technique they've been used over the decades. Distraction, let you look at one thing while they're doing something else, right? But that's how these men operate, right? Because they are the wicked, right? That's how they operate. They're the deceiver. Right, they're that devil. Right, this is Psalm 64. And another start from verse 2. Say, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Hey, and the scripture says secret counsel, because that's what they do. They come together, the elite, right, and they plan these things, and then they execute them. They execute them, on the background. Right, things like these, right, are the important things that you should be looking for. But yet you're too busy, out there, as brother said, that whatever nation he be, right, as you're saying that while you were scrolling on social media, or watching something else that was going on, this is what's going on in the background, and this is something important, right? Because you know why? Because this is one of the final stepping stones to that O-B. You know what? M-O to the T-B. You know what I'm talking about, right? This is one of the final stepping stones to get there, right? Because one of the main driving factor of that is gonna be the digital currency. The fact that you need the currency to trade or to buy, or whatever. That's the main factor, and they just passed the bill that makes digital currency legal tender, right? And all the laws concerning like what you can and cannot do, right? How they're gonna do to track it, where you can spend it, where you cannot spend it, who will be able to use it, right? So now that the framework is in place with the machinery, the technology that they need, the bill is in place, the laws concerning how it will be used. What do you think is going to come next? The actual thing is going to come next, and then it's going to be pushed upon the public. That is where we are in prophecy. That is where we are. I'm going to jump down to verse 5. It said, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Right, because they're hiding and doing this. Right, they're trying to do it, on the down low, so to speak, that no one picks up on what's going on. But guess what? The eyes of the Lord are upon this sinful kingdom. Right? The eyes of the Lord are watching. Right? And the moment these things happen, the Lord is going to reveal them unto his prophets. He said, surely, Lord, thy power will do nothing but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Right? And the scripture says again that everything in the darkness, just paraphrasing, shall come to the light. Right? So there's no more in secret going on. There's no more in secret. Everything that is being done, right, is going to find its way to the ears and the eyes of the prophets. You know why? Because we've been bringing out these things way before. We here, in the camp that I am, right, we've been doing this thing, like going on 16, 17 years now. Right? Much more the apostles that's been out there twice that long. Right? So you think that is going to happen and just be swept under the rug and we don't notice? No, we've been preaching this for the longest while, right? So when they happen, the Lord is going to make it known to us that, hey, you've been saying this was a part of my prophecies of things that are going to take place. See, there it is. So there's no hiding it, right? You think you're going to sweep on the rug and we don't see? We're going to see because we're watching. These are the things that we're looking for, right? All these things in prophecy that we speak about, we're looking for them physically as well. And when they happen, we're going to notice and we're going to talk about it. There's no escaping that. Right? There's no escaping that. So you could hide some more. Right? All those things you do in the dark is going to be manifested in the light. Right? And we're going to come out and we're going to speak about it. Because we're getting our information through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You best believe it. Hey, and you see, for you scoffers, you mockers, right? You lost Christians, right? You other camps that talk bull. Hey, you're gonna see for yourself. You're gonna learn, because the scripture saying in Habakkuk is that the vision is for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And the more these things happen, is the more these prophecies are speaking, is the louder and louder it get. Even if you don't want to listen to us, it's getting so loud now and bearable in your ears. Speaking about these things like this bill that was passed, right? And these things becoming more evident. It's getting louder and louder to the point you can't deny it. You're holding on to your ears for so long. You think so long and so hard. You think you'll be enough, to ignore what's going on, right? Or the words of the Lord's prophets. But guess what? It's getting louder and louder, and in your face. Right? There's no denying it. Right? This time we're living in is a marvelous time. It's a marvelous time. Right? The time when we shall see the prophecies of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai come to pass. Right? Those things that were spoken of in the scriptures are being fulfilled before our eyes. Right? That's the time that we are in. Right? They ever started to say here that that Bible days done with. Hey, there's no such thing. We've been living in Bible days. It is still Bible days. There's Bobby, like Bible days is finished. So okay, fine. So if everything in the scripture was fulfilled, what are we doing here? Why are we not in our rest? Why are we still in bondage? Why are we still suffering? Why is there still suffering? And you see, because of this, you find, people coming outside, they're atheists, and they come and talk their crap about, there's a power, it's wicked, they talk all kind of nonsense. We're not going to pay any mind. Let me jump to that Revelation. All right. Revelation 13 and verse 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands and in their foreheads. Why? That no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. As I said before, the infrastructure is in place. Right? Meaning the technology of how it's going to be used. Right? The device, the device itself has been created. Now the law has been passed that will govern the usage of that digital currency. What do you think is next? So next is for it to be implemented. Because it's not as if it's a device that is not being used currently, because it is being used. Right? There are people who actually already have it implanted and they use it. Huh? So what do you think is coming next? Huh? It's gonna be mandated for the entire public that, hey, this is how we're gonna move forward. But guess what? You know what? You gotta look for some small things, right? Because how they do their thing is order up kill, which is order through chaos, right? So you gotta be looking out, for something big, just like in the 2020 event, where that demic happened, right? And they say, oh, this is what's going on, so you're gonna have to take this. You're gonna have to go on some lockdowns. You're gonna have to, come off the streets. You're gonna have to stay home. You can't go to work, because it's a dire situation. It's the same thing. They're gonna come and they're gonna say, hey, so this, because of this situation, hey, you need to get this, because we need to identify everyone. I mean, look at what the Prime Minister in Jamaica did, or what he said about those people down there in the more affected areas, right? At first he was saying, these people talking about you're gonna need, and I've never said that you need to get needs to get anything. But then on the flip side, about a week later or 2 weeks later, he's gonna say that you need proper identification. So we need to have a proper identification system so we can do this better. But the thing is, most people in Jamaica at a certain age would have a voter's ID. Most people in Jamaica would have a passport. A lot of people, not most, but a lot of people in Jamaica have a driver's license. Aren't these three all valid methods of identification? That is the question. Aren't they? And if they're not, then why are we using them today? So you see the contrast there. So if they're not valid, so if we're going to need a valid means of identification, that means we don't have one. And if we have one, that means it's not valid. And if it's not valid, then how are we using it? It's simple math, right? But hey, these men, their head is so far up the devil's ass that the smell of SHIT has clogged their brains, right? But don't worry, the masses are right behind you, because the masses just as lost, right? Right now there are few people out there who can see the BS, right, along with the men of the Lord, that can call you out. Because we say it all the time. The thing that you have to do, Mr. Prime Minister, we have been speaking about these things before you were even in office. So how does that make you feel? we know the end game. We know the end goal. Listen. We've been bringing out, for example, the NIDS. We've been bringing out information on the NIDS before you even understood the NIDS. That was from it was introduced in 2010 by Bruce Golding, and then continued on by Pork Chop, and then back to you with the mantle. Right? We've been following it up. Because we keep watching. These are the things that we look for. We look for the things in prophecy that must come to pass. And before they come, we tell that they're going to come. And after they come, we call it out saying, see, this is what the scripture spoke about. There's no hiding from the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You can tell the people whatever, but you cannot hide from the Lord. Right? And you're gonna assist in bringing this snare on the people. Whether you're gonna do it ignorantly or you're gonna do it because you know what's coming. Either way, you're gonna bring it. Right? And the scripture said, want to pass that lead my flock astray. And that's what you're doing. You're leading the Lord's people astray. Right? To do something totally against what the Lord recommends, because here it says that no man might buy or sell save he not have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name or the number of his name, right? This be the mark of the beast, the mark of the devil's system, right? That is what you're forcing the people to do. You think the Lord appreciates this? No, the Lord's against it. That's why the Lord said, don't take it. Hey, I think I'm gonna end it there. Until the next one, shalom.